Alrighty, welcome back to another episode of Sudoku with Tsvetii. We have a fun episode planned where we'll be doing an expert. Nah, just kidding. A hard? No, we'll play it easy today. No. We're just gonna play a medium puzzle. I was just trying to rile the people up, just to make them mad, because I am in a gaslighting mood today. And just saying, you look great in those pants. You know, that is what someone would say to you if, you lived in 200 BC. So I am just saying, those pants, little out of date. But I just want to say that you do look great today. Oh my God, that sounds so terrible. After saying it's a gaslighting kind of gay, a gaslighting kind of day. And then I say you look nice. God, that reminds me of high school all over again. God, I have such, oh my God, that's reminds me of high school. I'm not going to tell a story. I'm not going to tell that story just yet. I'll save it for episode 56. 56 will be that episode where I tell an embarrassing high school story. Anyways, fours have kind of been a bust. Everything's kind of been a bust in this puzzle so far. But we will continue on regardless. We just know 5 is going to be here. And 5 is over here. Excuse me. 5's over here, which means if 5 can only be up here, we know 5 is here or here. And nothing else doing for us, really. What about 6s? 6s are really kind of blank right now, so we'll just move to 7s. I know we probably could have solved something, with some of the information that we had. But we know that will be a 7, that's a 3. Let's see. That'll be 6. Awesome. So we have solved a little bit here. So let's go back to our 7s. Those treating us well so far. We know 7 has to be there or there. We know 7 is up here somewhere. Not much else doing. I mean, 7 in this middle one could be there or there. But let's see, 8s. 8s. Crazy 8s, some would say. So we know these are both 5 and 8. Guaranteed. Shout out Charles Barkley. And then we know this is just actually an 8. We know this will be an 8 or an 8. And how about 9? Nothing really doing with the 9s, unfortunately. But that's okay. We actually know 9 is going to be here since we know this is just 2 and 5. So we do know that that is simply the 9. Then nothing else doing besides knowing that this will be a 8 or a 9 down here. Pretty good progress on this first little sweep through, but not much with a lot of other ones. Excuse me. We know 2 has to be there or there. Anything with our 3s, we just know 3 has to be here. So that is 3 and 9 both have to be here. So this other number, 6, has to be over there, which means 6 is actually over there. 2 is over there. 2 is over here. 6 is over here. This would be just a 4. 4 is up there. Let's see. We are still making some good progress. So 2 has to be over here. And then 7 has to be over here. So this other number, which is 4, has to be over here. Awesome. Making some good little progress, filling out a good little bit of stuff here. So nothing else going for the 4s. What about 5s? I mean, we just know them up here and right here. Not really much else we can do per se. But yeah, let's check our 6s out now. This music is very trippy right now. Oh, since we know these are 2 and 5, we can tell that this is a 6, which means this is a 6. 6 will be down here. Anything else? I mean, we just know this will be 8, 9, and 6 over here. Which means this would be 3, 3, 3. That's a 3 or 4 up there. I mean, this would be 3 or 4 as well, since we know the others are 2 and 5. Go to 7s. Not much doing with the 7s. Maybe the 8s have opened up a small little pathway there, and that is a negative. What about nines? Nines. We did solve 1 9. That will help just a little bit. Let's see. I mean, this can be a 3 or a 4, which, you know, it's also missing a 2 and a 5, so we can tell that this is a 5. That's a 2. Then our last two ones over here are going to be that 3 and that 4. Yeah, 3, 4. This could technically be a 3 or 2, 3. So I'm not going to count it out just yet. But we do know this is a 2 or a 5. Are we on 8s? Oh, we were on 9s. We just solved this 9 over here. Nothing else going right now. Nothing else going, but that's fine. We know this had to be a 3 or a 7. That 3 is blocked right there. I mean, this could technically be a 3 as well. We will just put it down right now. 2. It makes sense. If that can only be a 2 or 7, this can only be a 2 or 7. They're both 5 and 8. Means this would be a 3 or 6. This would be a 3, 6, or 7. Ooh. Looking pretty good so far. And that's just the Tsvetii special. Anyways, we will be looking for another venue here. We do know that 2 has to be one of these. You know, of course, one of these 2. Anything updated with our 3s? Not much doing. Not much doing. Actually, since we know 3 and 4 are both over there, have to be over there. This will be 2 and 5, which means 2 and 5. Which kind of makes me start to believe that this is going to be 3 and 4 over on this side. Just a guess, just a hazard a guess, but with no logical meaning behind it besides vibes. I mean, we know 8 can only be there or there, down here. This can only be a 3, 8, 9. What about 3s? I mean, 3 can be any of these. 4s can only be there or there. Let's say 5s need to be 5 as well. Not really much going on that, unfortunately. So we can try to move on from that. Phew. Excuse me. Getting a little tired. Starting to doze off just a little bit. It would help if I didn't record these at 6 in the morning. My eyes were shifting ever so slightly back and forth. And I remember that being a fun little life hack that I learned, that if you're ever like super tired when you're driving, of course don't do this when you're driving drowsy. But I remember hearing that if you shift your eyes back and forth left and right a bunch, it wakes your brain back up. Of course, you look like a psychopath, so everyone's going to drive around you, so you won't have to worry about hitting anybody. But I think that is I don't even know where the moral of that story is. I think it's just don't drive when you're super tired, because I was driving back from St. Louis from an acting audition. Either it was an acting audition or coming back from set, and I was super tired coming back. Yes, I was driving back home from the set because it was Super Bowl Sunday. And so, God, this is so long ago. This is when the Chiefs played the Niners in the Super Bowl. I believe in 2019. I believe in 2019. I remember taking up my little Toyota Yaris all the way up to St. Louis and performing. There were some things I did that were just super fucking cringy because it was like a comedy, like short. It was like a college short film, and I just did a bunch of cringy shit. But we will worry about that another time. Anyways, let's get back to the puzzle. Starting to lose hope here, but God said I'm looking good. Thank you, God. Guess these monitors are just mirrors, right? I'm just looking good all the time. But anyways, let's go. Shout out to the Minecraft villager. I mean, we only know that this is a 3 or a 7. The 2 or 7. We know 5 actually just has to be up here. We kind of already knew that though. From like literally 10 minutes ago. But I'm just trying to talk it out here. Maybe I'm trying to talk it out because I'm not solving or seeing anything. That could very well be it. 1 is a 50-50 right here. And a 50-50 right here. How about 2s? How about our 2s? Not much doing. 3s? We know 3 and 4 both have to be there. About our 4s. About the same situation. We know 4 is technically on one of the corners over there. And 4 is up here or here. About a 5. Anything else going with our 5? Not particularly. Anything goes going with our 6s? No. About 7s. What am I missing here? What's going on with our 8s? Or 9s? We know this could be a 9, so we'll go ahead and mark it for right now. Part of me wants to just put 9 here to just experiment. But I prefer not to just slam my keyboard and just kind of brute force it. Let's see if we can make one more quick little round, see what else we can do here. So if like this was 7, this would be 2. Means this would be 5. Yeah. And then that would be 3 and 7. Yeah, if this were 7, that'd be a 2. This would be 2. It'd be a 5. Be locked on 3 and 7. This would be 4, 3, and 7. I think I'm just starting to try to math it all out now. Okay. This is a 4. That's a 3. This is a 4. And not really much solving. Which means this would be 1. That would be 1. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. I was just spelling out something for someone watching there with my little mouse cursor. I use my mouse cursor to type out help. Help.png. Not much going. That's okay. Once again, just verifying everything is right still. Okay. We have not done anything for like a solid 5 minutes. But we've been starting the process of having the gears turn in our brain. All right. I'm just going to go with my first gut thing, which is being 9 and 3. That's 4. That's 3. Because that would be 3 and 8 down there. That would be a 1. A 3. A 4. A 1. A 4. 3. That a 3. 6. 7. Oh, so we're missing 3. 3, 2, 5, 6, 7. So that's wrong. Make this a 3. Add an 8. That is an 8. 5. Makes that a 5. Yeah. That seems like it's making a little bit more sense now. Nothing else solving for that. Or these 2s this far. Nothing really else going with the 6s either. What are we missing? 6, 7, 3, and 4. Technically, that can be 3. 4. Just to make sure. Yeah, we were right. Okay. Our initial gut instinct was wrong. That is okay, because that is why we have the power of the brain. I think this will be just 3 and 4 for our intents and purposes. We go ahead and hazard that that's a 7, which would make 6. 3. 9. 8. A 1. This a 1. 4. 4. Nope. Back to square one. That I don't remember what I had over here. 4, maybe. Was 4. 4. Three. This would be 6, 7. And no, we've messed up something again, right? So this is just not a 3. That'll just have to be 7. Okay. Add a 2, 7. 2. Oh, that makes more sense. That makes significantly more sense than what I was doing. All right. Well, I believe that we have solved the puzzle. It just took a little bit of help. We do get by with a little help from our friends every now and then. Some days we got it. Some days we don't. Some days we take 20 minutes, and some days we take 5. And that is just the ebb and flow of life. Anyway, I will catch you again next time. Take care, stay safe, and I will hopefully play Sudoku with Tsvetii with you tomorrow. Bye.